Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Boldly Going, where we discuss various things Trek. I am Merlin, sometimes known as Joe, and I've got the film fanatics here with me. I got Dan over here.
Hello.
Justin over there.
Howdy.
And today we're going back to DS9, where we're going to visit an interesting planet in Battle Lines. And who wants to talk about DS9? Who talked about something last week?
Well, I talked about data lore, of course.
Well, then I got to get to
Like, shut up, Leslie.
Tell me about the warriors of this planet, where
Okay.
lines are drawn.
Oh boy, here's hoping I can remember everybody's name. Oh my goodness.
I'll help you if you forget.
Thank you. All right, so this one starts off with Major Kira, I believe.
The Bajoran lady?
Yes,
That is correct, yes.
Kira meeting an old mentor, and who comes aboard their ship until they end up getting hit and sidetracked on Baron Moon, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, with two warring races.
Of course.
And
Classic Trek,
Why
right?
wouldn't there be?
and obviously the Bajoran conflict is once again coming into play. And
parallel.
an ethical dilemma, and of course the Prime Directive, the constant
Dan's rolling his eyes over
how to help these two races without violating that comes into question. Particularly showing Cisco's ethics in that regard.
Well, I'll tell you, Justin, Dan's gonna be really angry when he sees some of the TOS episodes where they do this.
I'm sure.
He's like,
well, but that
I'm
was
sure.
original, so.
but you'll be mad because you'll have seen it already. Like, the Trek's
True.
already done it 12 times. But, Justin, what did you think about this?
All right, so how did I take Battle Lines? I think this episode had... It took a little while to get going, but I think this is actually one of the more heavier episodes we've seen recently.
Uh-huh.
It's nice to actually see Bashir not flirting with Dax for an entire episode. Thank you, Star Trek gods.
That's a rarity.
I was like, there's a character here?
Yes.
Tell me more, people.
Somewhere. He gets to the backstory later.
But no, I actually did appreciate that. I actually liked how Cisco was playing with the Prime Directive. There was a really strong amount of ethics to be put in here.
As it should
how
be.
do we address this? How far do we go with this without compromising it? And what is the significance of these two races that haven't really aged due to this growing conflict? Mm-hmm. There's a lot to think about and a lot to reflect on. And obviously, they less than subtly imply that there will probably be callbacks to this episode.
A little bit.
Particularly amongst Kira's mentor.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought this was a really well done episode. Probably one of my favorites from DS9 thus far. I leave it with an A-.
Oh, wow.
Very good.
All right. Well, Dan, how did this grab you?
Well, during Justin's synopsis,
Uh-oh.
I decided to create a side program from Boldly Going called How Trek is Trek.
Okay.
This is an 8 out of 10 because it has almost everything ever in a Trek episode.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying I'm going to play this game every show, but
well, I hope you make it
when we have a very Trek episode, I think I have to just play How Trek is Trek.
All right.
Why not?
Look, this episode doesn't really do anything wrong. It's just the most basic of the Trek plots. I admit Cisco does have a nice, dilemma. I always like when the captain is sort of fighting between himself and the Prime Directive. And, I do enjoy that a lot.
Uh-huh.
But the episode was just okay for me. Like I said, nothing really wrong with it, but we've, at this point, seen it many a time. I leave it with a B.
All right. Well, I'm glad you guys liked it. It's pretty... I think there are some good moral conflicts here for sure. I think it's a decently written episode, but it's also pretty standard. I think it doesn't really add a whole lot new, and I don't really think of it as DS9. It is kind of grind you've covered before. This is in season 1 where they're still trying to go around to different planets and try to balance with the exploration thing versus the space station aspect, which I don't think DS9...
I like when they're on the space station.
I know, and they will do that more. But this is at the point where I guess they were trying to still determine their identity. So for me, this episode is decent. Also don't think it's really bad, but I think there are far better episodes. I leave it with a B-, actually.
Okay.
So,
I mean,
glad you liked it.
In terms of being on the space station, yeah, it's a change of pace. But I think sometimes you're going to have that with this particularly.
Now, I can tell you there are plenty of episodes later on where they can't be on the space station. Spoilers, but
Okay.
so I mean, it'll do different things. But this feels like it's balancing. Like, okay, are we gonna be DS9 or should we lean more towards TNG? Because that was so good. It's still trying to determine what it's doing, and that's pretty common with a lot of these first seasons to get the ground going.
No, that's fair.
But as Trek goes, you're both right. It works pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly wasn't bored watching it. The characters are fine. Cisco's dilemma is good. Some calm meanie trying to figure out how to get him back.
Yeah.
That's always exciting.
Beam him back, yeah.
Yeah. So, there wasn't anything inherently wrong with it. It just was very, very tread upon ground.
Very standard.
Yeah.
So would you say it's 8 out of 10? But would you say it's not quintessential Trek right here? Like for
Well, there was no kid coming in and like if Cisco's son came in and saved the day.
Jake to the rescue.
Yeah.
with journalism.
So it was missing that aspect.
happened.
Also, Cisco's not as much of a Lothario as Kirk was.
True.
So if he maybe had a couple of ladies on each arm, then you might get up to a 10 on the How Trek is Trek scale.
Okay.
Trek sexism.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'll give it an 8, yeah, for that.
All
For
right.
that scale.
Pretty close. How Trek is
Yeah.
Trek. I like that side program.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, guys, if you like this episode, more or less, let us know. Next time we're going to be talking about Voyager, which is always great.
Yay.
Great. Not for like 12 seasons. Yeah, there weren't 12 seasons. Joke, see?
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, let us know in the comments below. And yeah, hope you're enjoying these. And I'm going to say goodbye. You guys say goodbye too.
All right, see ya.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. Slow ride.